Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Baldur's Gate the Enhanced Edition. In the last session, Godan and Imoen took a stroll around the perimeter of the Friendly Arm and then returned to pick up the party, ready to travel south. Initially to try and find a rogue ogre with a belt fetish, apparently, but not quite.
You rang.
Couple of things that need to be done first. Just as the party were about to leave, Zar put up his hand to halt them, explaining that he simply wasn't ready to set off. He stated that he needed more time to memorise the spells from his spellbook before he would be fully prepared. Godan was about to interject, insisting that the spell preparation would have to wait, when Jaheira also chipped in that she too could benefit from heeding her pre-scrolls again. Godan couldn't believe it. But on the other hand, he would benefit from allowing his fresh wounds caused by the hobgoblins some extra time to heal, and so instructed the group to head back into the inn.
is open to all who behave themselves.
Alright, so bit of time has passed. It is now 10 o'clock at night. Wow. Not the best of time to be travelling on the road, I feel, but, well, cover of darkness is never a bad thing. Anyway, the reason why we have rested, hopefully, Mr. Zar here can now identify some items we have picked up in our travels. With the necessary spells memorised, Zar asks Godan to hand him the belt and ring that were as of yet unidentified. After a brief pause, Godan reluctantly hands them over, and Zar mutters some strange incantation, waving his arms over the items. The first is a belt of Antipode, a sturdy polar bear furred belt decorated with images of blue moons and white ice flows. The belt offers the wearer complete immunity to ice magic and effects, but leaves them completely vulnerable to fire. A situational garment at best, Godan will hold on to it for now. The second is Evermemory, a fabled ring of wizardry. The ring was used by a grand wizard from Arm rumoured to have defied Mystra's limitations on the magical arts, allowing him to cast spells without being limited by memorisation. Of course, he had no such powers, and simply donned several of these rings, and thus his everlasting memory was proclaimed a hoax. Zar was about to hand the ring back to Godan when he was instructed to keep it. After all, there was no one else in the party that could use it. Okay, so now with the new equipment we are ready to head on out. As I said, it is night time.
You rang. Right, what's this then?
We don't intend to be out for too long. Just going to try and find this ogre, retrieve this belt for Unshey, and
Go on then.
return back
Sorted.
here. A bit more resting, and then tomorrow at some point, and then we'll head out to Berrigost. So this is our first little adventure together as one big party. See how well it turns out, shall we? So the party were finally ready to head off to try and find Unshey's belt. Whilst heading through the hamlet, Godan couldn't resist. He stopped and mockingly asked if anyone else had any pressing matters to attend to. Toilet breaks? Hair appointments? Perhaps it was a touch too dark or the wrong kind of moon was out. He was met with silence, and after tittering to himself, he set off walking again. So a 8 hours schlep down just to the south here. And we have been here before. This is the road that we took when we were on the way to the Friendly Arm. We've obviously gone across the pathway and across, but, well, we now have to explore a little bit more of this zone. Trying to find this ogre. We might as well start with the area
Right, what's this then?
over here. During their travels to the south, Godan takes the opportunity to speak with Khalid and Jaheira in more detail, leaving Imoen with the unenviable task of entertaining Montron and Zar. Jaheira explains that she was born in the Tethia region to a supporter of King Aelmander. While she was still a child, there was a civil war and her family were among the nobles that were targeted by an angry mob of peasants. She was spared an ill fate due to a serving girl who took her from the castle just before it fell. The two of them fled into a nearby forest where they stumbled across an enclave of druids who eventually took Jaheira under their wing. Oh! Oh my god, that's a very stroke of luck there. Okay.
Go on then.
Another little hidey hole here.
I'm on it.
Another ring. Of course, Zar has already used his 2 identifiers for his current. Does it have one more? No. No, he needs to rest again before he gets another one. Well, we'll keep on hold of it for now.
Spit it out. I'm on it.
So what we'll do is we'll head south, we're down here somewhere, see where this road goes. It's the road to Berigos, we'll just see what's down there. And then we'll sort of loop back and up, and back to the Friendly Arm, I think. So we'll stick to the road for now, see if there's any more travellers to speak to. Oh. Another gibbling. Not a diseased gibbling this time, but just a regular Joe gibbling. Double check we have all the appropriate weaponry selected.
You spoke at me? Nature's servant? Yep. Stop touching me!
Sorry, can't help myself. Right, primed and ready to go. We're all attacking, and off we pop. Oof, 2 damage.
You rang.
Montron lets out an ecstatic, triumphant cheer as he thrusts his short sword into the gut of the gibbling, thus slaying the beast.
Spit it out.
Godan looks at him wonderingly. He thought that he enjoyed the thrill of battle, but Montron seemed to enjoy killing that creature perhaps just a little too much. You'll have to keep a close eye on the halfling in the future. Berigos to the south.
You rang.
And, as we suspected, somebody on the road to speak to. Have a wee chitty-chatty for a brief moment. Godan taking the opportunity to parlay for a change,
I'm on it.
rather than leaving Imoen to do all the talking. Must dash to Berigos. I must. Governor Keldath must be told of the extra troops being sent his way. Berigos is to be garrisoned in case of Armenian attack, though Arm has denied such intent. Of course they would deny it, the snakes. Make way for the messenger!
I'm on it.
And here, by the looks of it, is a child on his own.
Spit it out. Sorted.
Funny looking.
Don't you be getting any closer or I'll have Mom come and give you the belt. Just trying to put the child at ease, no need to be so nasty. Oh sure, that's what other groups of bandits said. And then they went and attacked the caravan I just saw leave. They were a bunch of liars. Probably just like you. Get lost. Blasted child. Try and do a good turn. Look out for his welfare and you get treated like that.
I'd be much preferring the cover of night
Right, what's
or
this
this
then?
blasted daylight.
Oh, Speaking of attacked caravans, here it is.
Go on
Oh
then.
dear. Person's dead, flies hovering round, but on the bright side, at least there's something to loot.
Sorted.
Sorted indeed. But it looks like somebody has possibly got the best stuff already.
Spit it out.
Probably those bandits. Right, where
I'm
are we
on it.
going? There is a sort of semi-pathway here. Raided caravan. Alright. Although the pathway does seem to end here. Let's go this way. After speaking with Jaheira and spending a little time with her, Godin clearly notes that she is headstrong and unyielding in her views, and also has a deep affection for Khalid. Godin finds this extremely strange, seeing as Khalid couldn't be any less like Jaheira if he tried. Meek, mild-mannered and jumpy. Just how someone with such a disposition could become a skilled fighter beggars belief. Khalid naturally didn't say too much about his past, but did divulge that he was
You
born and raised in
sorted.
Kalimshan, and that he trained as a fighter under the watch of the city guard. Oops. Looks like we've run into a Zvart here. Just bring him back down here if he can make it this far, and then we'll ambush him.
This better be.
Go on then.
Oh, here he comes.
My blade will cut you down to size.
Lovely.
Spit it out. Sorted.
6v1 to kill a little blue
Sorted.
man. Perhaps a little bit of overkill, we would say. Nonetheless, Godin proceeds to
Go on
collect the stray gem that fell from its pocket and moves on.
Sorted.
So we can get up the cliff up there. We'll have a look down here first, just explore this particular area. See if there's anything else of notable value. Slightly off the beaten track, of course, but so be it. Monteron begins to moan loudly about his aching feet and how looking for the lone ogre is beginning to grate on his nerves. Jaheira shoots him an icy stare, but remains silent. The halfling sighs and begins twirling his short sword to keep himself occupied, and just when he thought things couldn't get any worse, the heavens open. Oh, and a bit of bad weather setting in. And is this another caravan? Yep. This time no loot to speak of.
Spit it out. Sorted.
An empty trash caravan and torrential rain. Godin hated to admit it, but even he too was growing weary looking for this ogre. He planned to give it another hour or so, and if there were no signs of the ogre by then, Unshey would have to find her own belt. He forcibly quickened the pace, and just as he did so, heard a rustling in some bushes. The ogre? No, just a wolf. Oh. Big bad wolf man. Come on, let's get him. Come on.
You rang. I'm on it.
Okay. Obviously, I've had a few fights already. I think perhaps the auto pausing on the round end might be a little bit much. So let's take that one off. We'll leave the rest on for now and just keep on going with the flow. We'll just take them off slowly but surely when we think they're probably too excessive. Some of them need to be remain on, I think, but we can take a couple more off perhaps.
Go on then.
But definitely the auto
Right, what's this then?
end of the round auto pause can come off. Right, in terms of our map, where are we? Whoop!
Spit it out.
I think we might have found our ogre. We found an ogre at least. So we need to get ourselves prepared here.
Yes,
I'm going to
You rang.
pull us
I'm
back.
on it.
Excuse me. I'm going to assume that Jaheira.
You've a task?
I'm going to assume that he's seen us straight away and he's going to be heading right for us. So we're going to have Jaheira cast the entangle. Hope that it works. Hope that it doesn't entangle us. Have the ranged attack. Start with their attacks now. We'll just wait for them to get entangled before we start the melee.
Go on then. I'm on it.
We got him? We've got him, right.
Spit it out.
Ranged weaponry at the ready. I think most people have ranged weaponry. Godan's going to use the throwing axes. Khalid can't use anything at the minute. Monteron has a sling. Jaheira has her sling. Imoen has the arrows. He has the sling. Excellent. So pretty much everybody apart from Khalid can launch from a distance. Badly injured. And gone! Nice one, guys! Nice one indeed. Right.
You rang. Sorted.
Just going to test this
Sorted.
theory. Does Entangles get hold of us? I am saving versus spell here, so it does appear to be affecting me. I'm just happening to save at the minute. Yeah, I think it does affect me. Anyway, forget about that, because here we have an ogre with a belt fetish.
Sorted.
Oh, and there's the proof in the pudding. I'm entangled. So that takes our unidentified items up to 3, which means we probably should have Zar learn some more identify tonight. And this lasts quite a while.
Spit it
Longer
out.
than I remember it lasting. There we go.
You rang. I'm on it.
Oop. Some more gibblings.
Go on then.
You have need of me?
You spoke at me?
Yes, what you want?
Stop touching me!
Spit it out.
And the...
Back to the original. Oh, a group of them! Not just the one this time. And somebody's been hit. Go down, actually. Suffered a bit of a scratch. Nothing major, you know.
You rang. Sorted.
Oh! Oh! 6 damage! You nasty little beast! Khalid having a bit of a hard time here. There we go.
Go on then.
Khalid rubs his cut arm and looks close to tears, whilst Jaheira rushes over, looking horrified. Godan doesn't quite know just what kind of training Khalid received in Kalimshan, but it's certainly can't have been the same as in Candlekeep. We're pretty much done down here, so we'll head back up and round, and then that'll be it.
Go on then. Right, what's this then?
Of course, we already found the ogre, but well, you never know what else you might find on your travels. With the belts in hand, it's time to head back to the Friendly Arm Inn, but before doing so, Godin can't resist exploring just a little bit further. You never can tell, perhaps he will stumble across another ogre, this time with a ring fetish. Or who's to say there's not a half-orc by the trees in the distance that has a infatuation with boots? He would hate to miss out on the opportunity to attain further items. As he continues to wander through the woodland, his thoughts turn to the recently acquired items. The ogre had 2 belts in his possession, and thus Godin would be guaranteed at least one as a reward. But what if he was to keep Unshey's too? He's almost certain it would fetch more when sold than any amount of coin that Unshey could offer, although Unshey claimed to be a famous author. Maybe she would pen this famous retrieval of her stricken belt in her next bestseller, and money can't buy a reward like that. And back to the friendly arm. Another 8 hours for the journey, which means it's around about 4 o'clock-ish on the 3rd day of independent adventuring.
Sorted.
So we'll pop back inside. We will inform Unshey that we have found her items. Or we found it. I don't know how many belts she's supposed to have lost. We found 2, she mentioned 1, so I don't know which one's hers or which one we might be able to keep for ourselves, but we'll find out. The long day is almost coming to its conclusion. The party are tired, hungry, and sopping wet through, the rain beating down relentlessly for several hours. Godin's mind is made up about the belt. He'll be handing it over to Unshey in exchange for a positive write-up in her next book. He just hopes his act of kindness is worth it. As he enters the inn, he leaves the others downstairs, drying themselves off and heading rather briskly to the bar to order some refreshments, as he makes his way upstairs to find the famous author.
I'm on it.
Okay, so here's Unshey, giving her the good news.
You cannot get better than the stability stone walls provide.
He was a weird one, weren't he? Ugh, I can still smell him on you. I'll pay you 10 gold pieces for returning the girdle, and another 60 to find the nearest bath. 70 gold pieces. Sure, the belt would have been worth more than that. Bit of a disappointment, never mind. But we do get to keep one, of course. So we'll soon find out what that's all about. 70 gold pieces? A paltry sum indeed, but that wasn't the slap in Godin's face. No, the bigger problem was the fact that Unshey informed him that she was now retired from writing and that there would be no further books. She did offer him a copy of her best work, but he stormed out the room disgusted before giving her a piece of his mind.
Sorted.
As Godin made his way downstairs, Imogen waved him over, having ordered some leek and potato soup to warm him up, but he thundered past her, almost knocking her off her chair. He stopped at the bar and asked Bentley for several of his strongest ales. 4 shadow darks were lined up, and Godin sinked them, one after another after another. Almost a full day on the road under unsufferable weather with almost unsufferable strangers for a meagre 70 gold pieces. This was certainly not a good day.